ムーキーの契約が終わるまでは監督やるよ。その後の由伸と翔平は勝手にやってくれ。
どうも大谷です。野球は誰か一人を必要としているわけではない。ドジャースを黄金時代へ導いたデーブ・ロバーツ監督が語ったのは、自身の功績を誇る言葉ではなく、野球に携われることへの謙虚な感謝でした。そこには監督になれなかった過去や激しい批判を受けてもチームの前に立ち続けた知られざる歩みがありました。ということで今回はバックステージドジャースから監督史上最速で1000勝した名将ロバーツ監督を支える謙虚な哲学と知られざる素顔にその歩みとともに迫ります。
I don't think about my place in history because when I hear names like Walt Alston, Tommy Lasorda, that just doesn't seem like Dave Roberts deserves to be in that, that bucket. When people talk about legacies and not wins and losses, and obviously the goal is to win championships, but I hope people can say, hey, Dave Roberts was a great steward as manager for the Los Angeles Dodgers. What I think has kept me here also is the knowing that the game doesn't need you. The Dodgers don't need me. You can look at Shohei the game's biggest star. Once he's gone, the game of baseball is still going to keep going on. And that's Shohei. So for all the rest of us, to know that the game doesn't need us and we're lucky to be a part of it is very important.
The news of the day, Buddy Black fired as the manager of the San Diego Padres. Not just another night around the ballpark here for these Padres.
No, it's the nature of the beast in this world of sports that we live in, and believe me.
I think it sort of caught us by surprise because we were, right at 500 when the change was made. So when things are disrupted, it becomes a little emotional. So I told all those guys to be pros, to continue on, and I'm proud of the fact that they did.
It's been a day that was unexpected for a lot of us in the clubhouse, but going forward as far as later tonight, H and I are going to talk and see where that leads me. But regardless of any direction that AJ goes, I know I can speak for the coaching staff that we're going to support anything, any decision they make. They brought in Pat Murphy from AAA the next day. I thought that no one knew the team better than I did outside of Buddy Black. I was pissed because I just felt that, I was overlooked and didn't get the opportunity, but that wasn't my decision.
I don't think anybody appreciated what Dave Roberts was or what he was capable of. Sometimes they got to leave and have someone else see them with fresh eyes and see what they could be, rather than see them in the role that they were in. Not being hired by the Padres to be their manager in 2016 is the absolute best thing that could have ever happened to Dave Roberts.
Definitely some nostalgia, but it's definitely a visiting ballpark, no doubt. Not a hometown ballpark for me, it's a visiting ballpark. I don't think of it in the sense of I wish I could have. I have no regrets, and it worked out the way it was supposed to work out, and I wouldn't change a thing. But people do talk about, if they would have given me that job, how things would have looked different. I think if that's the case, the Dodgers wouldn't have 3 championships in 6 years. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. One more.
Here's a ground ball right side, could do it. The Houston Astros are world champions.
If we would have won 17, would my kind of the narrative about me have been different? Probably.
I get asked a lot about 2017 or, kind of the sliding doors of different things. I am not very good at looking back.
A 7th consecutive division title for the Dodgers.
And the Nationals have gone back-to-back against Kershaw.
And this 106-win Dodger team is officially an absolute waste. All the blame is on Dave Roberts.
The
great thing about a franchise like the Dodgers is you have the brand name and the resources. The bad thing about the Dodgers is that history comes with you, both good and bad. And at that point, they had not won a World Series since 1988. A lot of that frustration built up over years, if not an entire generation, was getting directed at Roberts.
Losing to the Nationals that year was rough. That was a rough year. Yeah, it became really noisy, but I don't do social media. I do know that, you know, when I get texts from friends that say, hey, it's not that bad, you're doing okay, we still love you, I'm like, oh man, it must be really bad out there when I get texts like that.
Do you feel responsibility for this loss?
Sure. I mean, if the blame falls on me, I've got no problem with it.
There's a sturdiness that you have to display when times are tough. And I mean, you gotta take those head on, all right? You gotta look in the camera, you gotta answer the questions, you gotta be out front.
That's kind of what I signed up for. Tommy said it to me when I first took the job. When you win, the players are gonna get the credit. When you lose, it's gonna be on your shoulders. And that's part of the job, and that's part of the gig. But I think, I like to think I'm pretty resilient. I try to live by this question, what are you chasing? And I think for me is I'm not chasing satisfaction, approval from fans or media. I'm chasing respect from my peers, my coaches, my opponents. And so I think that if I could get that, then I've done things right. And I do think that, as Buddy says to me, you've withstood the test of time. And I think and that's something I'm very proud of.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
17 cheated. Would have changed the narrative.
Yeah.
20, you win. People say
doesn't count, that's something that, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, I always talk to my kids about talking out of both sides of their mouth. The whole world says that 2020 was the most challenging year of their lives. And in another breath, you can say, but it was a abbreviated asterisk World Series, which is absolutely bananas, because I would still argue that was probably the hardest World Series for us of the three that we've won.
You know, so much of October baseball are outcome-based narratives, but just watching him evolve in terms of having his finger on the pulse of our players, their heartbeat, what their strengths are, and doing everything he can to put them in positions to succeed. Sometimes it hasn't worked.
The pitch to Freeman. That's it. The Padres have eliminated the Dodgers. They win it 5-3. For the Dodgers, 111 wins during the regular season. But it wasn't enough.
There was a lot of noise at the end of the 22 season, and then even louder after the 23 season. And it's one of those things that, from our standpoint, a 5-game series is never going to materially alter the way we feel about a partner. You know, for us, it's much more about the impact he has in the clubhouse, in the community. There were so many factors that went in that, in our opinion, still made him the perfect choice for what we were doing, and that the outcome of a 7th inning in San Diego wasn't going to dramatically alter that.
So then you get to 24, where we're down 2-1 to the Padres. And then you get the writers that are saying, hey, if you don't come out of this series, your job's should be or could be in jeopardy, whatever. I know I'm very proud of myself because I didn't let that feeling bleed into the clubhouse.
As far as the pitching goes, you couldn't have more polar opposite matchups here. The Dodgers have run out of starting pitchers.
Game 4, they went to a bullpen game. I mean, you asked me, if you lose that game, whose fault is that? I would blame the front office for what? Like, you don't have enough starting pitchers to throw out like in a playoff series, in a short series? Are you kidding me? But the flip side of that was it's also kind of an opportunity.
part of his plan as he was staying up all night trying to figure out how and where he was going to use his relievers. It has worked. It has worked very well and has slowed this great offense down.
And what for Roberts that kind of did, it kind of reestablished this thing of like reminding people, you have to make 7 pitching changes in a game. And if somebody can tap dance around all the landmines and kind of get to the end, it's this guy.
In the air, shallow center field. It is up to 5 for a game 5. Dodgers in a rout here in San Diego. And the bullpen game goes to perfection.
That game 4 was really kind of this like signature moment, you know, Dave Roberts back against the wall, you know, again, to use the stolen base thing with the Red Sox kind of as a metaphor of sorts, right? He found this like little opening and kind of ran through it, and right, they took that and ran all the way to the title.
How much more does Trinan have left? 33 pitches. At the end of a long season. He's retired all 4 that he's faced so far. The tests, climbs, and difficulty right here.
What he's done in the postseason, managing games, especially in 24, getting us through Game 5 of that World Series, I don't know how he pulled it off.
On 1-2, Rizzo. Swings and misses. Blake Trinan digs deep. And the Dodgers are 3 outs away from a World Championship.
Getting through that bullpen game, he deserves all the flowers. Doc's one of the best managers of all time.
When Buehler came out of the bullpen in Yankee Stadium, I didn't see that one coming. That one, I think, got me in a way that I, didn't expect.
You were proud. You're like,
Yeah,
proud.
yes, that was a good one.
Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
24 kind of put everyone to bed as far as, oh, there's no asterisks and it's a full season, this, that, and the other. So that one felt like relief, but also elation.
I don't want to sell him short as a tactician. He's very good at identifying inflection points in games and addressing it.
And he knows in those moments, the heart and the determination of a player can change the outcome of the game. And I feel like that's something that Doc do really well. I will always be grateful for the opportunity that he gave me.
Drilled to left field and deep, and gone! No way! Miguel Rojas!
25 was just icing on the top, man. It was like back to back, and what we went through, probably the greatest World Series of all time. I mean, we're going to be talked about in history forever.
I think that when this is all said and done, Dave Roberts is going to be considered the best manager in Dodgers history. Yeah, sure, it's like you can say, well, he had the most talent, but yeah, like when has that ever been held against anybody, right? I mean, you could say the same thing about Phil Jackson, right? I mean, he won when he had Jordan and Pippen, and he won when they had Kobe and Shaq.
You can always argue, the roster is this and the roster is that, but it doesn't matter who's on the roster. You still have to manage personalities, egos. You have to manage putting people in the right spot to succeed.
Let's go. Come on, Mookie.
I know I've described him as kind of like my baseball dad, but that's kind of what it is. He's meant so much to me and my family.
In recent years, we've seen the Padres go out and spend money. We've seen the Mets go out and spend money. And we've seen those teams like that have serious chemistry problems.
Ever since I got here for 5 years, it feels like Doc cares about Chelsea, my kids, my family, more than what's going on the baseball field. So when it comes time to put my body on the line, it's easy to do it for someone like Doc who cares.
They want to keep thousand win at the Dodger Stadium.
Hey, my wife flew tonight to see the game, so I want to win tonight.
One strike away from getting it officially. He struck him out.
Thank you, Bob. You're there for every one of them. Thank you, guys.
The fastest manager in modern baseball history to hit 1K.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. Thank you. I've been blessed, fortunate to be around a lot of great, brilliant people that have helped support me. As I sit here, I'm 54 years old, and I feel like I'm just scratching the surface on becoming the manager that I can be.
Attaboy! I wanted you in there the whole game. I wanted you in there the whole game. Thank you, Mookie. Thank you, Mookie. Thank you, Tanks. Thank you.
Coming in, our goal was to make this the golden era of Dodgers baseball. And it's hard when you're mired in it to have full appreciation for what has transpired. But Doc getting to 1,000 wins was a moment for me, and there are not a lot of them, where I kind of stepped back, took a breath, and reflected.
All the players that played for me for 11 years, I raise a glass to every single one of you guys, and thank you so much for making me a great coach. And what I always tell our coaches, what makes a great coach or manager? Great players. So cheers to you guys. Cheers. Raise a glass.
You mean so much to us. You put us in the right situations to succeed. You care about the person more than the player. So I know you always say it's about the players, but tonight it's about you. Oh. And we appreciate you so much, and you got 1,000 more to go.
Only thing I promise is that I'll stick around for Mookie's contract. Yoshinobu and Shohei, they're on their own. Cheers, guys. Thank you, Freddie. Cheers. Thank you, guys. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. That's so good.
Was not getting a look from the Padres the best thing that ever happened to you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't change a thing. All these things that happen in our lives, you never know if it's going to be good, it's going to be bad. You just got to live it out and see kind of what plays out. And here I am. We've got 3 championships. And I really think, and I have thought about this, who has a better job in sports than I do?
ということでいかがでしたでしょうか。最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。また次の動画でお会いしましょう。